Hello and welcome to another super exciting Turing Dev Talks. My name is Jose and I'm tuning in from Montreal, Canada. And today on the panel we have Dennis. Dennis is expert in Rust and also in microcontrollers. And believe it or not, he has over 20 years of experience and 15 years of experience working remotely. So I'm so excited to talk with him today. And before we get started, I would like to tell you that Dennis is expert in Rust. We are going to share a lot of things about Rust today. And so, hi, Dennis, how are you doing? So I would like to hear from you. If everything is okay. So how is the weather in Ukraine?
Thanks. Hey, thanks for having me. It's lovely out there. It's like just below zero, and it's snowing. So yeah, what else can you get in Ukrainian winter?
Yeah, so I love snow here. We have a lot of snow. It's snowing right now, so it's kids are at the school, so it's pretty freezing outside. So what do you do in the winter in your free time?
Oh, well, we go outside, we ski, obviously, and we make snowmen. Like that's pretty much all you can do. And yeah, I mean, hobby-wise, it's like lots of fun digging out cars for example. So,
That's nice. Yeah. So I go snowboarding. I don't ski. I go snowboarding, and so I have so much fun there with my kids. So my son is learning to snowboard. I'm teaching him. And all right, so let's kickstart. Okay, so my first question for you is I know you are expecting Rust, okay, and also you work with microcontrollers as side projects, right? And I would like to ask you what kind of projects, before we kickstart with Rust, what kind of projects have you been done with microcontrollers?
So it all started like I'm doing my own home automation, and it started with a few Raspberry Pis, and then a few more Raspberry Pis, and then I got into Picos, and I also have a whole bunch of industrial Schneider microcontrollers because, like you know, industrial. And so yeah, I'm doing quite a bit of Rust on my Picos.
With Rust?
There's that, yeah. Rust is great for embedded. Like it started like I wanted a C-type language, so it kind of like rolls out all the garbage collected, all the VM-based, all the interpreters. It's just like you're effectively left with C++ and Rust. And I've been doing C for quite a long time, and yeah, I was just looking, and it's a fun and educational at the same time. So I just decided to dive into Rust.
Really cool. That's amazing.
Yeah, so far loving it. Yeah.
Yeah, I also work with microcontrollers as well, doing my home automation too. And so I'm going to ask you the question that people ask me when I say that, when I show my projects. And the most common question is, so I was working a project that was to connect Arduinos with LEDs to control the lights of my room, okay, based on voice. I use Alexa to do that, to integrate. And when I show that, I recorded a short video. When I showed that to my friends, my close friends, they said, man, why do you do that? And that's my question for you too. So why do you do that? Why you don't go to Amazon and buy a light bulb that do the same? Why do you do it by your own?
Yeah, there's a whole host of reasons. Well, it's fun. I'm an engineer. It's fun to build stuff like that. That's enough reason for me. But also, what I'm building, I just couldn't buy. Like that, there's no one selling it. I mean, for example, let me show you just an example.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah. So I have this is my home surveillance.
Wow.
Custom build. It's like a state. It's still a work in progress, like a few years in, still working. Yeah, as you can see, it's working fine.
Yeah, that's so cool, man.
So yeah, and there's lots of stuff that you cannot just buy, and mostly it's customizable. And the thing I was like, why I got into microcontrollers in the first place, I go as an engineer. I'm all about efficiency. So if you can get away with the thing that's consuming just 1 watt instead of 10, that's great. If you can use the thing that's worth $5 instead of 50, that's awesome. And so, and most of the ready-made solutions, they are just like all the decisions are made for you.
Yeah.
There is no fun in that, and oftentimes there is there's very little room for customization, because like I don't stay here a lot. And for me, an appliance, if you cannot SSH into it, it just doesn't exist, right?
Yes.
So pretty much all my stuff here, it's running Linux. Well, save a few picos.
Nice. Yeah. And then your energy will be like.
My energy bills, like you wouldn't believe. Yeah, they're so low, because I'm just like, we can get a little bit better with this, and just probably a little bit better with this as well. So yeah, that's my main motivation.
Yeah, my main projects are to create joysticks for my son to work with specific games on his iPad, because there is a game that you control with hands, like 4 buttons, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can control that. So I built 4 pads, and my son controls his game with like this. Yeah. Nice. Also to play Roblox, right? So I create a few controllers specific for games in Roblox that do cool things that you need to use the keyboard and joystick. I built one control to create shortcuts, I would say. So, and he loves that. And
yeah, you can have all the fun with them. They're like incredibly customizable, and like, yeah, whatever idea comes to your mind, you can do it.
Nice. And how Rust coming to the panel with microcontroller? Can you tell me a little bit about Rust, and how can we connect them with microcontrollers?
So yeah, I mean, it's a C type and a C-like language. And you do pretty much everything that you would do with your normal microcontroller stuff with C. So you go no STD, no main, like 99% of it. There's I mean, it's still young, but there's a really good ecosystem about PIs and picos specifically. So there's a hardware abstraction layer that gives you all the GPIO stuff, controllable. And you can just go like, again, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of stuff I'm gonna be showing. So
that's so cool. Yeah, because I'm so excited to see.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my lab is a mess, my actual lab. So what I have here, I'm testing the DHT22s, like your normal DHT22s, and yeah, I'm just picking relays. Like you have to pick a lot of relays. Oh yeah, and you can wire a whole bunch of your lovely, what is it? It's DS18. It's like the most. Yeah, it's DS the DS18 B20. It's like the most abundant temperature sensor. They're dirt cheap, and
I know it costs like $5, $5 to $10.
You can go, you can go even lower than that. And the funny thing is, you can there's a programmable I/O on the Pico. And it can drive those sensors. So you effectively you're being left with 2 idle cores, which you can use. And it's in Rust it's just incredibly powerful and simple, and you get pretty much everything you'd get with C, except you also get thread safety, You also get memory safety. You also get type safety, and yeah. And just in case, you can unsave all of it if you so desire.
Got it. Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah,
I
love it.
for me, I did a lot of C, and I did some C on the Pico, and yeah, I mean,
what's the most fun project that you have been created?
It's a work in progress. I'm doing with those relays. I'm doing mood lighting controls. So it's just another example of how an engineer would approach stuff. So for example, this is if you finish projects, my blinds, they open up and they let some light on sunrise, and they close on sunset. And when I'm showing off, it's everyone's like, "Where's your light sensor?" And I'm just telling everyone there is none. You don't need a light sensor.
And how do you do that? Camera or timer?
Funny thing, no, there is no sensor whatsoever. It's just clock. Because guess what? Yeah, you can like the Earth is it's extremely predictable throughout the year. There's a gap of probably a minute or maybe two minutes, but it's fine because you don't need exactly per precise second in town to so you can get away with just
and how do you program? How do you insert the clock? So how you program that? How you take with sunlight savings?
Yeah, so it's just a cron job. It's just a cron job. It runs at about 4 a.m. It sleeps. It waits for about 2 hours. When it's 6 a.m., it just opens. But it's not opening at 6 a.m. exactly. It's like if the sun rises at 5:55, right. it would open at 5:55.
Nice.
And with the mood lighting, it's the same. You don't need mood lighting if your main lights are up. So this is what I'm testing with relays. I'm getting some inputs, and I'm doing and this is what I'm using normal PIs. I got a bunch of i4s controlling all the rest of the Picos. Right. So and you get your normal OS, and you get your normal programming stuff on PIs. So
nice. Yeah. You know, my fun project, my best one was. So I create automatic toilet flusher for my kids because my daughter was 2 years old in that time. Okay, and she cannot press the button to flush the flushers, right? So what I did was I put a motor, okay, a servo motor inside the toilet, okay, and then I connect that with a microcontroller which has Wi-Fi, built-in Wi-Fi, and then I program that controller and connect it with Alexa, and also connect to LEDs. So when my daughter finished to use the toilet, she say, "Alexa, I'm done." And then yeah, "Alexa, I'm done." And then the toilet will flush and also show lights below that. So she loves that. And also she can control the color of the light as well. So usually pink. She likes pink. Yeah.
Can you imagine her growing up? And I mean, she's used to that. She's used to talking to computers like from the very little age, because this automation revolution is being happening right now. Like when I was young, it was all in the movies. Now it's real.
Yeah, I never thought about that, but yeah. So yeah, you were right. So she will live in a different world, totally different world. Yeah, that's so cool, man. So I will learn Rust, okay, because I think it's good to know another language that could work with microcontroller as well. Maybe that will be the future. Okay. All right. So what else? What could you tell me about about Rust, about performance, memory. You already told me that's memory efficient, right? So, but if you develop would like to get started, like me, get started with Rust. So, what's the best split for it?
So just pick a project and go with it. Like whatever you would do, whatever you would do in C 20 years ago, you would do probably in Rust now, because it's just, like I said, you get a lot of good stuff that just frees your mind to think about the algorithms and the actual logic that you're trying to accomplish. Like yeah, the starter pack is quite easy because it looks like C and it runs like C. And the funny thing is, when you try to go multi-threaded, which is where all the fun is, you would just the compiler will gently ask you to kind of like not do bad things. Like if you intend to mutate this variable, please make sure that you're not mutating it twice in different threads. And it's just, yeah, it's just so exciting. Like really, I've been doing C and I've been doing multi-threading for a long time. And every once in a while, the Rust compiler would just tell me like, you have to move this. And I was like, yeah, I never thought about it like that. But yeah, there's a race condition in a very rare circumstances. There might be a race condition for example. So it's just I'm quite more productive.
Great.
Right now.
Sounds great.
It takes some time to get used to it. But yeah, if it compiles, it's most probably gonna work right. So
who use Rust? Which companies? What companies use Rust?
Well, I think these days, yeah, I think these days pretty much everyone who's serious about performance. I've heard Google investing in Rust, Microsoft, Facebook even. Like it all started in Mozilla as a research project, like about 10 years ago, probably.
Right.
And yeah, but these days I see some future in it. Pun intended. Asynchronous programming.
Yeah, so that's so amazing, man. So, and I would like to give you a tip for our audience. If you are looking for jobs, if you want to work with Rust or any other technology, you can go to Turing website, okay, turing.com/jobs. You can search for the job that's more suitable for you, like JavaScript, React.js. We have over 100 technologies there. Just search for it, apply for a job, pass through the vetting process, and then I'm sure that you'll get the job that you are dreaming for, okay? And going back to Dennis, so Dennis, as you mentioned, memory safe, okay? Rust is fast and memory efficient, okay? For which industry it will be the use case? So what kind of project could you be doing with Rust?
Well, I do it with all kinds of projects. So for example, I'm building my Pico stuff, which is microcontrollers, no STD, no main. But I also do, there's a framework called Actix, and it's effectively an actor system, and there's a whole web framework built on top of it. So you can build an HTTP application server, like whatever you used to do in Rails or Django or Node.js. What was it? Wow. Express. Yeah, you could also do in Rust.
Nice.
And for example, like I love Ruby on Rails. I'm a big Rails fan. I'm doing Rails professionally, and I do a lot of Rails application just for fun, for my own personal use. And I started doing that in Rust. And the pinnacle of Ruby on Rails is the programmer productivity and happiness. It's still there. But with Rust, it's not far away. You still have to account for compilers, and you still have to account for multiple stuff that a compiler will warn you about. But it's just like I cannot imagine myself doing web applications even 10, 15 years ago in C. Now you can.
Yeah, that's so cool, man. So, and in terms of servers, so does it run in Windows, OS, Mac, and Linux?
Sure. Yeah. My dev environment is Mac based. My production environments are all Linux based. I'm sure it runs on Windows.
Nice, cool. And could you please share to our audience what are the key features of Rust?
Threads. I mean, it's performant. It's on par with C. Because you effectively get no runtime overhead. Everything's done during compiling, and you get memory safety. There are no nulls in safe code, like there are maybes and optionals. You get asynchronicity with futures. It's not that hard to do asynchronous stuff. Thread safety is a big one for a language that this low level. So everything that you can imagine for systems programming, it's all there. So yeah,
great. All right, and if someone would like to go deep on Rust, okay, could you please also mention I don't know a few advanced features of Rust? What could we do with Rust?
Wow, whatever performance-wise you want. I mean, you can probably implement a blockchain in it.
Blockchain, that's cool.
Of all things. No, yeah, you can do video processing, you can do blockchains, you can do math, you can do artificial intelligence, like inference, all kinds of stuff. Although, yeah.
Yeah, if you mentioned blockchain, so at Turing we have a lot of blockchain positions, okay, and if you want to apply for blockchain position, you know what to do. Go to Turing website, turing.com/jobs, search for blockchain, apply for your position, and then maybe you can talk with me in one-on-one interview, and then I'll interview you for blockchain. So that's so cool, man. So you will love that. Also, you mentioned video processing. So nowadays, everywhere we see people recording videos, right? So I have an issue with videos a few years ago because I was using my cell phone to record videos, and then the 4K, and then how could I transmit this? How can I send the video to save the video itself? Because it's recording on the cell phone, but the video is so huge, like 4 gigabytes, 5 gigabytes, 10 gigabytes. And how can I get that video, download the video from my cell phone? That was almost impossible. So what I did was I create a small server, which is upload the video in chunks, splitting like chunks of 1 megabytes each. And then I accessed that website from my cell phone and upload the video from my cell phone to my local computer, because I was using I was iPhone, and it was not that easy to transfer the video using AirDrop or send it by message or download the video. It was almost impossible. I had to create my own upload system. So now I can do that. But I think if I use Node.js for that, but I will try to do the same with Rust, and then I'll tell you how it goes.
You would probably find it a lot easier to do in Rust. So who knows?
I will try, and I'll let you know if it's easy or not. Okay. Cool. All right, man. So we are come to the end. Okay, to this meeting, this amazing interview. Okay, I would like to know from you if you have anything to share about Rust. I mean, anything that you'd like to add to this discussion today?
Well, yeah, I was just yeah, my entire message to people is just learn, never stop learning. There's a lot of fun in it, and just do some great engineering with it, because you can. Why not?
Great. Yeah, makes sense. And one final question. Okay, so what are the big difference between C and Rust in a few sentences?
Well, your memory is managed in Rust, which is
You don't need to allocate memory and deallocate that.
Yeah, you don't have to, which was one of the most one of the most motivating things. Because there is no fun in malloc and the free, and then you start thinking about like which allocator should I pick. Like honestly, it's 2022, right? It should have been a solved problem like at least 20 years ago. So you get this effectively for free in Rust, and then you'd get lifetimes, which is a very great feature when you do multi-threading and you do deferreds and you do futures. You never know when your code is gonna execute, and it just warns you like, yeah, you are using this variable. And the usage of this variable may outlive the block that's where this variable is defined. So maybe you want to move it, and it's so great because in C you just don't get this. It's not there.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Definitely not. And so, can we use classes for can you use classes in Rust or structure, or how it goes?
It's even better. So you get structs, and you can do implementation. So it's not class-based object oriented like you would get with C++, for example. No, it's, I mean, for me it's even better because you effectively get structs and you can add methods to them, and it's somewhere in between extremely strong typing and somewhat duck typing, because you can implement different, like you can implement different traits. You can make your class implement different stuff that's already in std for example, and also with Rust you can get ADTs, which is great. ADTs meaning algebraic data type. So you can this function accepts this or this or this, and they're not. It's not like in C++ where they have to share a common ancestor, for example. So yeah, it's halfway to real functional programming.
Great, it's so fun. We are come to the end. That's the real end. So, but before we finish, okay. So I have to ask it to you. Okay, I have to ask that. So you have 15 years of experience work remotely. Okay, I'm so curious to know how it goes, because I have 17 years of experience in general, but you have 15 work remotely. What do you do? So do you travel a lot? So do you have kids? So if you want, you cannot answer that, but could you please share a little bit with me, because I'm really interested on it.
Sure. Yeah. So I've got two kids. One is a grown up. He's starting his software engineer career, and the younger is just too young for our. Like we are divers. We dive a lot, and we travel a lot. So they're. The main motivation, like when we pick a place to visit, is just is there some good diving there, and we travel a lot. We don't move often. We stay at places like 1, maybe 2 months at a time, and yeah. So far we dived all over Egypt. Red Sea is amazing. We dived all over Indonesia and Southeast Asia.
Nice.
We lived there for quite a while. So yeah, there's some interesting experience. COVID is
breaking down, right?
It's getting there, but yeah, like when it first started, it was like no one's gonna travel anymore, and we were like, well, that's pretty much all we do, and there's we are documenting our travels and.
Oh yeah, do you have like an Instagram or YouTube channel for that?
Yeah, my wife does it. So and we run an extremely infrequent blog about travels, which is pretty much about tips how to travel with kids, for example. We started traveling.
That's very interesting for me. Yeah.
We started traveling with the younger one when he was 2 or 3 months old. So by the age of 4, I think he had flown at least 60 times.
Oh yeah, but you know it's funny because I travel a lot too, but I usually move to another country. So I'm from Brazil, okay, and I live in so many cities there because of my job. It was not remote, okay. I have to go to the office, and sometimes the office is in one city, like 2,000 kilometers far from my home. I have to move to there, so I move a lot of times, okay. And then I moved to another country, and so I'm Canada. I live in almost all provinces here. So I live in Vancouver for a while. I live in Ottawa for a while, and now I'm in Montreal. Okay, and I love that. And so I don't know what will be my next country or my next city, for example. But so I love it. So how do you feel about this?
It's been great so far. The exposure to so many different stuff, different cultures, different cuisines. It's different everything. So you have to get accustomed to new stuff every once in a while, and it's just most of the most of the stuff that people get used to, and they think it's our way of living. And they just don't imagine like somewhere else someone might be quite different. And when you're exposed to that all the time, you just lose pretty much all the stuff that's in your way of understanding. There are different cultures, there are different people,
and they are all different,
and right? It's okay. It's fine. It's great. You can learn from them. Like some things they would do better than you. Some traditions, like we've been that's like a pet project of mine. We are documenting traditions that are so old. No one remembers when it started. Yeah. But it has a lot of rationality to that. Like it didn't start like off the top of someone's head. No,
and I'm pretty much sure that my kids will be better than me, for sure. Yeah. Because my little one is 4 years old. I always say she is 5, but she's 4, and she speaks Portuguese, English, and it's learning French with 4 years old. So she will be like 20 years in front of me. You know what I mean? Yeah, much more better than me. And so there are pros and cons, because we are far from our family, but for extended family, right? For my mother, my father, but we are closer together. We are a strong family. So we travel together. We have dinner together, have lunch together. So we are all together. So that's very important, right?
Yeah, that's important. Yeah.
All right, man. So that was an amazing discussion today. I'm just curious about one more thing. I think I can stay here for like a week asking questions for you, because you are so amazing, so interested. So one more question for our audience. So how do you keep up to date with Rust, with C, with things?
Learn a lot. Like pick yourself a project. Never get idle. Like there's a lot of stuff to learn out there. I wish this is my biggest grief of all times. Like, why don't you have 64 hours a day? Because you can practice for 40 of them then, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a whole host of things to learn.
Yeah.
Just never stop. Yeah.
Never stop. That's what I say. Never stop. And I don't know how to rest, because if I have a free time, I will do another thing. I've never rest. I would say.
We dive. Yeah. We dive. When we're in Egypt or when we are just traveling abroad, we dive daily, and you get 1 to 2 hours of almost like it's pure unhinged silence.
That's so amazing. I'm so jealous. So amazing. I'm kidding. All right, man. So thanks for attending this discussion today. So that was amazing. Okay. And so if you have any other questions, if you have any questions to Dennis that we didn't cover today, we can go to support@turing.com and raise your ticket there. Ask anything you want. So we have a dedicated team for that. They will reply in one day. Okay. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoy this content. If you want to know, if you want to have contents like this in the future, please let me know in the comment section below. Comment what would you like to learn, would like to what we'll do in the next like month, year. So if you want to go and learn microcontroller as we did, what else? Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Follow Turing on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. So be close to Turing that you get your dream job. Okay. So with this, we come to the end, and I hope to see you guys in the future. Take care.